creating a niche is one of the most hardest factor in mapping out a market strategy for your brand. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for always joining in, and thank you so much for always liking, for commenting, for sharing, and most importantly for subscribing to my YouTube channel. I do not take all this for granted. In my last video, I talked about marketing strategy, and that was the first episode. This is the second episode, and I'll be continuing from where I stopped on marketing strategy. How you can be able to build a marketing strategy just for your brand. As I always say, we are now in a new era in technology form, and what we do majorly is the online form of advertising, that is digital marketing. We do not really make use of the offline form of advert again. We are now online. Technology has gotten us online. So quick one, I'll continue from where I stopped in my last video, and I'll be talking about blogging strategically. Now, I said earlier, one of the hardest factor in being able to mapping out a strategy for your brand is finding a niche. Finding a niche is one of the most hardest thing, because then there's something called jack of all trades. You definitely want to venture into everything just to be able to make profits. But then having a particular niche, having a particular area of specialization whereby you are into, would definitely be able to get customers to know that okay, this guy is a digital marketer and he's strictly a digital marketer. You can always have a side hustle. You can always have other things to do aside, probably aside fashion wears, aside selling of things. But then make out something that will make people know you for. Have a particular niche, have a value you create that people will know that this is what this guy does. So blog strategically, that is creating a particular niche just for your brand. And that thing is conduct research that impacts your SEO. In my first video, the second video that I made on this channel, I talked about SEO, that is search engine optimization. For example, now if you can always try this out, go to Google, type out app.concept. You'll definitely see everything about other concepts. That is search engine optimization. To be able to optimize your business, to be able to appear in the first page anytime there's a search on Google or any other social media. That is search engine optimization. It's a way you can be able to optimize your business listing on all social media to be able to gain more engagement, more visibility. And so far you have more engagement and visibility, definitely customers will patronize you, and through that be able to gain more profits for your brand. And that thing I'm looking at is teach others. Most people we always feel, now I'm not talking about literally meaning of telling people, definitely tell people what to do. For example, I'm a digital marketer. I run a lot of things. I do branding, I do sponsored ads, and I can help people do sponsored ads. I can fix sponsored ads. So I do a lot of things about digital marketing. I blog too. So let people know the value you are creating. Let people know what you are bringing to the table. Let people know the services and what you are offering them. So teach others what you do. And that thing is survey, listing, and learn. Most business owners, we don't do survey. That is, for example, now you have a product and you want to see how far you have gone. That is survey. And that thing is listen to what people have to say. Listen to your clients, listen to your customers, listen to their feedback. It's in terms of you listening, you tend to leverage more on that to be able to improve on your products and services. Listen, survey, and learn. Also learn. We don't learn, most business owners don't learn from mistakes. Learn from others' mistakes and work more on it so that you don't have to commit that particular mistake another time. And that thing is Reexamine your landing page. Something called landing page that is at the blogger now. You have something called landing page. That is, for example, now you're running ads on Facebook or Instagram. Something called landing page. For example, now if I'm running an ad for my brand, adult concept, and I said earlier on in my first video on this particular marketing strategy, I talked about that I run ads on Facebook and Instagram, and what I do is I convert them to my WhatsApp. That's where I complete most of my deals. So one major thing we should notice is that I have a landing page. You can't tell me that okay, you want to run ads now and you want them to message you on Instagram, on Facebook, on WhatsApp. No. Have a particular landing page. That's why have a particular social media and that you are most versatile in it, that you're always online and you are most effective in it. So have a landing page that people can always message you through that, and you guys can learn to connect and talk better. Then that thing is stand for something. You can't just be jack of all trades. You stand for something, donate. For example, now I was working with a particular client that is graduate place, and I was telling him some times ago that they can always sponsor brands, can always sponsor events on campus. These are ways to be able to gain more visibility as a brand. Sponsor events, even if it is 1K, 2K, 3K, 5K. Some of your products, you can always sponsor events so that you tend to gain more popularity, tend to gain more visibility and more engagement, and through that you'll be able to gain more profits for your brand. And that thing is leverage on social media advertising. That's very, very important, and Jamie. Social media advertising. You can make use of your organic search, can make use of paid reach, and you can make use of influencers. A lot of influencers. I'm an influencer too. I do brand influencing and I do social media influencing. So you can always leverage on your social media form of adverts. That is very, very important. Very, very important and very jamming. Then another thing you'll be looking at is leverage on your Google. Now, it's something called Google My Business. I always mentioned this. Register your business on Google. Get your business registered on Google. Then another thing is be able to convey your message to your clients, your customers effectively. That's when your content creating comes in. Your content should be catchy. You can't just tell me you have a boring content and you want people to patronize you. No, have a catchy content. You can't just have a boring content. And the last thing I'll be talking about is write a column. Now that is just about creating content. Don't just create any content. Create meaningful content. Create catchy content. Top-notch content. Thank you very much for always staying glued. You have come to the end of this lecture on marketing strategy. If you have not watched the first episode, kindly go back and watch the first episode on marketing strategy so that you can be able to build more visibility, more engagement for your brand, and it would really help you to be able to gain more influence. Don't forget, creating value should be the core aim of your brand, of your business, of your startup. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you for staying this long to the end of my class, of my lecture. Don't forget to like, to share, to comment, and most importantly, to subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much.